Welcome to Intentional Movement Corporation, where we discuss all things home and lifestyle, including real estate and personal development. In this space, possibilities are endless, and we lead a life of inspiration, class, luxury, elegance, joy, and liberation, leading to your ultimate life of transformation and empowerment. Right, testing the noise levels, testing sound, testing. How are we doing with the noise? Hello everyone, welcome to Intentional Movement. I'm so glad you made it. So today we are talking about investment strategies and building wealth in real estate. This could be as an investor, as a realtor, as a homeowner. There are many different ways to build wealth within real estate. These are only a couple. This is not everything. There is still so much more that you could do. It's endless and potential is limitless when it comes to real estate. So, number one, flipping homes. So a lot of times you can get a private investor to invest in you if you have some sort of knowledge or skill that could help and be worthy of a partnership with an investor. Whether you know how to do construction and you could help on that side of things, or whether you find a property that has a good ARV ratio that is worthy of their investment and they want to chip in on a percentage. So the sky really is the limit. There really is so much that you could do as long as you're searching for the right deal and you know what to look for, basically. So another thing that can really come in handy with saving on taxes for real estate is the 1031 tax exchange. Now, this is a tax-deferred transaction, and it is applicable when you own a property and you sell it and you use the proceeds to be able to purchase your next property. And when you're tired of investing in homes, you no longer want to do the industry of real estate or focus your attention on that. You can also get a self-employed pension and basically still avoid taxes in that direction. Now, this is only if you're tired of, constantly going through properties, buying and selling, which you may not. You may love it. You may want to do it forever. But some people come to a point where they are just, a bit tired of doing the transactions regularly. So then there's a self-employed pension that you could do when you want to cash out and also avoid taxes. All right, so that brings us to the next one, which is Airbnbs. Now, you have to be careful with Airbnbs because there's only certain locations that allow for this type of business to be done. But there are plenty of services that provide, cleaning, all things of that nature when it comes to, being ready to host the next guest. And you also have companies, like entire companies, multiple companies that can help you in the entire transaction and just handling the clients, the coming in, the coming out. I'm sure that would cost a little bit more to invest in that, but it is an option if you feel overwhelmed with everything that goes into an Airbnb. So there's also using your equity to pyramid. Now, the way this works is after a certain amount of years, you gain equity in your neighborhood or in your location, depending on where you live or where your property is located. And you can obviously sell the property, get the equity, and then purchase a new property at a higher price point. And then the next few years, that property is going to be worth more if you buy strategically in a neighborhood that's going to gain equity in the coming years. Now, obviously, this strategy is more longer term. It will take a bit longer to see the equity gains and to, see your profits, but it can be a very worthy strategy, especially if you plan on living there for 5 to 10 years, maybe even 3 years. You could definitely see some high returns on this strategy if you're in it for the long run. All right, so that brings us to our next point that we were going to talk about today, which is refinancing for a better rate. Now, a lot of people, they wait to buy until it's a good rate, or the rates are lower, or they wait to sell because they don't think that they're going to have very many buyers. Now, this sometimes can be a good strategy, but most of the time, in my opinion, it's not. And that's because if you're purchasing a property that's going to gain equity in the next couple years, then you're going to gain a lot more than you lose if you refinance the property, get a better rate, and still are able to cash out on the equity in the next couple years, or even 1 to 2 years. So don't be afraid if you see a high financing rate, because you can always refinance later. So there's so many ways that you could build wealth in real estate, and I think the trick is to just see where you fit in, what you do best at. Not everything works for everyone. So choose which area you feel that you can excel the best, and sometimes that may take some trial and error. So I hope everyone is doing fantastic and building their best life yet, and hopefully that includes real estate. So, yes, within real estate, there are so many ways that you could build wealth and be able to invest in your future, which I think is incredible.
Thank you all so much for watching. As always, like and subscribe, and check out my free lifestyle template at intentionalmovementcorporation.com.